Imagine finding a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar lying forgotten in an old drawer or mixed in a jar of loose change. You pick it up, and it feels just like any other coin, heavy, familiar, $50 worth of metal. But what if I told you that one of these exact coins once sold at auction for an incredible $1,704? That's right, a single 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, under the right conditions, became a four-figure treasure. And if your coin has the right qualities, the ones I'm about to explain, you might just be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. The Kennedy half-dollar is one of the most iconic American coins ever made. Its story begins in 1964, just months after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The entire nation was still grieving, and the U.S. Mint moved quickly to create a coin to honor the fallen president's legacy. Sculptors Gilroy Roberts and Frank Gasparro designed the coin. Roberts created the obverse featuring Kennedy's left-facing profile, and Gasparro designed the reverse with the presidential seal, an eagle clutching arrows, and an olive branch. This design wasn't just a tribute, it was a symbol of strength, hope, and unity during one of America's darkest moments. The first Kennedy half-dollars, struck in 1964, were made of 90% silver, but rising metal prices forced the mint to reduce silver content to 40% in 1965. By 1971, silver was completely removed, and the coin became a copper-nickel-clad piece, 75% copper and 25% nickel layered over a pure copper core. So by 1973, the half-dollar was no longer a precious metal coin, but a durable and modern version designed for everyday use. Yet, while its metal value was low, its collectible potential was quietly growing. The 1973 Kennedy half-dollar was struck in three places: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia are mint-produced coins with no mint mark. Denver coins carried a small d, and San Francisco coins bore an S. The Philadelphia mint struck more than 64 million coins that year, while Denver produced around 83 million. The San Francisco mint's output was different. It focused on proof coins, made specifically for collectors. These proofs were struck on specially polished plankets with sharp, mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs that gleamed with detail. Most 1973 half-dollars were used in circulation, tossed around in daily transactions, their surfaces nicked and dulled by decades of use. These coins, even today, are usually worth face value 50 cents. But here's where things get interesting. When a coin escapes circulation and remains untouched, its story changes dramatically. A coin in mint state condition, meaning it shows no signs of wear and still retains its original shine, becomes a collector's item. And the better the condition, the higher the value climbs. The difference between an ordinary 1973 half-dollar and a valuable one lies in its condition, rarity, and minting quality. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 representing absolute perfection, a coin so flawless that even under magnification, it shows no imperfections. Most 1973 halves fall in the range of MS60 to MS64, which are lightly marked but still bright. However, finding one graded MS67 or higher is incredibly difficult. These near-perfect examples are what collectors are willing to pay thousands for. Take the 1973D, for example, the Denver minted version. In normal circulated condition, it's worth around $1, but an exceptional 1973D graded MS67 sold at auction for $1,704, setting a record that shocked collectors. Imagine that a coin worth 50 cents turning into more than $1,000 simply because it was preserved perfectly for 50 years. The same applies to the Philadelphia issue. While common in lower grades, a flawless, mint state piece can fetch hundreds. Then there are the 1973S proof coins. These coins were never meant to circulate. They were sold directly to collectors in special mint sets. Proof coins are graded differently from circulation strikes because of their mirror-like finish. They're valued based on clarity, strike quality, and the presence of a deep cameo a stunning contrast between frosted designs and reflective fields. Most Proof 1973S coins are worth between $5 and $20, but in perfect Proof 70 condition, they can sell for much more. Some deep cameo proofs have reached into the hundreds, prized for their immaculate surfaces and flawless craftsmanship. Collectors also look for rare errors that make a coin unique. While major errors on 1973 half dollars are relatively rare, they do exist. Coins struck off center, double struck, or missing their outer nickel layer are examples. These minting mistakes turn ordinary coins into one-of-a-kind collectibles. Depending on the type and visibility of the era, such pieces can range in value from a few hundred to several $1,000s. The thrill of finding an era coin adds an extra layer of excitement to coin hunting, and 1973 halves are no exception. So, how can you tell if your 1973 Kennedy half dollar is valuable? Start with the basics. Check the mint mark just below Kennedy's neck. If it has a D, it's from Denver. If it has an S, it's a proof from San Francisco. And if there's no mint mark, it's from Philadelphia. Next, inspect the condition carefully. If it looks shiny, crisp, and free from scratches or dull wear, you might have an uncirculated example. A coin with deep, clean luster and minimal blemishes could be worth far more than you think. Collectors prize coins that show a sharp strike, meaning all of Kennedy's hair details are visible, his cheek and jaw smooth and full, and the eagle on the reverse shows every feather. Even the smallest imperfections, contact marks, dull spots, or hazy areas can lower the grade and reduce the coin's value. That's why only a handful of 1973 half dollars have ever reached grades like MS-67 or MS-68, and why those examples command such high prices. The story of the 1973 half dollar is also a reflection of America's changing relationship with its coinage. In the early 1970s, half dollars had largely disappeared from everyday use. People preferred quarters and dollar bills, and many half dollars ended up sitting in bank vaults or collector albums. As a result, finding pristine examples decades later is rare, not because few were made, but because few were preserved perfectly. This is what makes the 1973 Kennedy half dollar so fascinating. It's not a rare coin by mintage, but it's a rare coin by survival. Out of tens of millions produced, only a tiny fraction remain untouched, unblemished, and nearly perfect. Those are the coins that cross the auction block for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But let's bring things back to reality. If you're holding a typical 1973 half dollar in average circulated condition, it's worth about 50 cents. A lightly circulated piece might bring $1 or $2, while an uncirculated coin, one that's bright and free of wear, could fetch anywhere from $3 to $15. Proof coins from San Francisco in average condition sell for about $5 to $10, while higher grade proofs can reach $50 or more. Exceptional pieces certified as perfect by grading services are where the big money lies, and that's where prices climb into the hundreds. On platforms like eBay, the real-world market value of the 1973 Kennedy half dollar is generally modest. Uncirculated examples often sell between $5 and $30, depending on their grade and eye appeal. Proof versions tend to hover around $10 to $20, unless they're certified as flawless deep cameo examples. The rarest high-grade coins, however, remain in a league of their own, with prices exceeding $1,000 when they appear at major auctions. So, what's the takeaway? The 1973 Kennedy half dollar is a coin that bridges history and hope. It tells the story of a nation's tribute to a beloved leader and the evolution of American coinage. For most people, it's a nostalgic reminder of an earlier time, but for collectors, it's also a symbol of possibility that something ordinary, something overlooked, can still hold extraordinary value. The next time, cross a 1973 Kennedy half dollar. Don't dismiss it, just spare change. Take a closer look, inspect its shine, its strike, and its mint mark. Because if your coin has the right features, if it's uncirculated, perfectly preserved, or one of those rare proof beauties, you might just be holding a piece of American history worth far more than 50 cents. After all, coins are more than just metal. They're stories frozen in time, reminders of the past, and sometimes unexpected treasures. And the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar, with its connection to an American icon and its surprising range of values, proves that even a coin minted for everyday use can carry the weight of history. And, just maybe, the promise of hidden fortune.